So we would travel. Tim was always on traveling baseball teams and stuff. And we had to go support him. We had to go to every game.
Right.
And baseball, there's a lot of fucking games. So there's just me, 4 years younger than him, just tagging along like, this sucks, man. I want to go do something else.
Right.
But that was my childhood, was watching him play baseball and being a hero that I couldn't be, you know?
Right.
I was just living in his shadow my whole life. It was crazy.
You literally did everything he did, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Every single thing he did, I did. He's the reason I'm a Marine. You know?
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I always lived in my brother's shadow growing up. He was my hero for sure. But I mean, that's how it was. Like, he was 4 years older than me, and he had talent. Like, he was it was his only opportunity out, without having to be in the military.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
So they invested in it. You know, my parents paid to send him to baseball camp. We both would go to like Major League Baseball playing, like baseball team baseball camps.
Right.
And like play with these guys. And they would teach us how to play baseball. Like the fundamentals. So then so we would be training with the Toledo Mud Hens and the Detroit Tigers. And then he'd sign us up one that was like Adrian College baseball team. And these guys are, you know, asshats compared to these professionals that I'm used to. So I'm just dicking off. I'm like, dude, you're not even teaching me nothing. Like, come on, I know everything.
Yeah, I know everything.
I'm so good at baseball. Like, leave me alone. I was really good. I've screwed myself over by not pursuing it.
Yeah.
Because I was just, since I was a little kid, like, Dad would be outside playing with Tim, and I wanted to play. So they gave me a little glove, and he'd roll it to me. So I'd get grounders, and Tim would get line drives and pop-ups.
Right.
And then eventually I got to catching pop-ups. It didn't take long, and then it was just, we were playing catch with Dad.
That's so cool.
Out in the front yard. And then wintertime would come, so he converted the basement into baseball. And like, that was our thing. Like, him and his boys, we just played baseball. And that's all we did, was baseball.
Right.
And so I get up to like 5th grade, and it's always been about baseball. I remember going clothes shopping. Dad gave us $200 to go clothes shopping.
You got all baseball.
I got all baseball shirts. I remember one says, so many baseballs, so few time, so little time, or something. Like, I had all these stupid graphic baseball T-shirts when I was like in 5th grade. And then Tim told me like all these horror stories of getting a physical, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not confident with my body or anything. I've never even thought about another person touching me. I was in 5th grade, so I was like 11 or 12.
Okay, yep, like 11.
Yeah. Yeah, something like that, you know. And so he's telling me, like, and I haven't hit puberty or anything, so he's telling me, like, the doctor's going to do this to you. And I'm like, dude, fuck that. Like, I'm not about to go, no, I ain't doing it. And then I just gave up on baseball. I was like, that
sucks.
I'm not doing baseball.
That sucks.
But I was, like, we were so good. Like, we were on all-star teams, traveling teams. Like, Tim and I were pretty good. I mean, there was other good kids on the teams and stuff, too, obviously.
Right.
But I'm just talking about us, and we were fucking awesome. You know? I feel like we were pretty stellar baseball players.
Right. Yeah, well, did your dad have, like, stuff set up in the basement?
Yeah, the whole basement was converted into a baseball
like, so that was your life. For a certain amount of time, that was literally your life.
Right, like how you did gymnastics. We did baseball.
I just did it for a longer period.
Dad would come home from work, he'd change into sweats, and we'd go downstairs and start playing.
Right.
And he had just got done working all day. And he comes home, and we'd play until God knows when, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock.
Right.
Just having a blast
He just
downstairs.
loved it.
We'd be playing wall bounce. So that back wall where the room is now.
Right.
We taped out a masking tape square with an X in it, and that was like the target.
Okay.
And we would stand 5 feet from the stairs that was covered in a piece of like fabric. The stairwell, we covered it with a piece of like, Mom brought home some like car carpeting type fabric. And that was hanging down so that the balls hit it, it wouldn't do anything. It wouldn't destroy the basement or anything.
Yeah.
So we would just, as hard as we could, throw a baseball at that damn wall and then retrieve it.
Right.
In a concrete room. Just, like, we were so good at freaking playing Like our reflexes were so good. And
wow.
yeah, and we would even do like drills. So we'd set up like a plate
Right.
for like first base or third base or whatever position we want to play. We'd set it on either side of us.
Okay.
So we'd drill the wall, catch it, and go to that plate like that. Like
So you just have like the plates like right next to each other. And
yep. Well, on one side or the other, whatever position. So I liked playing second base because that was what Steve Rodriguez played. And
okay, and that was your idol.
He was the first baseball player we ever met.
Yeah.
So he was our idol, you know, and he was number 7. He's the only reason I like the number 7 is because that was his number.
And we love the number 7.
It's my favorite number. And he autographed every piece of baseball merchandise I owned. Yeah. So Steve, he was our idol.
Right.
Know? And yeah, he was just this little short dude, and he would play shortstop and second base. And he would tear it up. And so I would train for that. And Tim was a good third baseman. He would take a line drive right to the face and be like, ha! And catch it. Like, no problem. Just 100-mile-an-hour ball right to his
There's
like
no way.
His reflexes were amazing.
Wow.
But I mean, he's throwing as hard as, and he was a pitcher too.
Right.
So Dad built us a pitching mound in the basement, and it was plywood box, but it had a grate on it, and then he built like a plate, it was just like a 1x4 or something. And painted it white, and this covered it in turf.
Oh, that's
we
so
would
cool.
wear holes in this thing and have to like replace the carpet.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and like we would have to get special cleats made, and with like a little covering over it, because you would the fundamentals of pitching, we would learn how to like throw every movement to throw that ball perfect and as fast as we could.
Right. And
when you'd come down, your leg comes out and you drag your toe onto the ground. And you do it so often, you wear a hole right through your freaking cleats. If you buy a $120 pair of cleats, you don't want to wear a hole through them, so you got to buy a little piece of plastic and glue over. Like, so that was a thing.
Right.
Where was I going with that? Cleats got me off guard. But yeah, so we knew how to pitch really well. Like Tim could throw major 80 miles an hour, when he's 12 years old. Like insane speeds. He knew how to throw curveballs. He pitched no hitters and shit. I don't remember if he had a perfect game, but I'm pretty sure he had a perfect game before.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he was always playing baseball.
Right.
And he was the best pitcher on the team for the most part. Like he would pitch a whole game.
Right.
And tear it up. He was so consistent. But we went to so many camps. We learned all the fundamentals.
Right.
Like I remember going to the Mud Hens training camp and waking up, and it would be the sun is just cracking up over the training field, and the dew's all over the grass, and we're running out on the field, just, this is so awesome. And then we're out stretching and stuff, and out in the field, and we start doing drills with the guys. I'm like, this is the coolest thing ever. That was fun. Yeah. That was when I got that baseball bat, because that one guy. So I was on the all-star baseball team for Onstead, which was purple and gold. So we had purple uniforms, like purple jerseys, and it was just, a screen, like a heat pressed screen, printed logo that said, All-Star or something, just a vinyl print on it. Yeah, and it's just a cotton tee, little kid baseball t-shirts.
Right.
But it was still our team nonetheless. So I'm there. That's the only, that's my team. So I'm in Toledo at this training camp with the Toledo Mud Hens and all these other guys, and they're from inner cities, and we got, everybody out there training. And this guy, Patrick Leonard, he's the right fielder. I had to figure out where we were orientated on the field. And yeah, we were in right field when this happened. I was 10 years old. And he called me Barney because I was wearing a purple uniform. So all the kids started calling me Barney. I'm 10 years old, and these kids are making fun of me.
That sucks.
And I was freaking good at baseball.
Right.
That's the only reason I was there, and to see these monsters of men that are playing the same game I am, but way faster.
Right.
Way stronger. What I aspire to be. And this guy just made fun of me, and I just, screw it. And I just started crying. It sucked.
Aww.
They were picking on me hardcore. And I wasn't, it sucked.
JimBob.
I was there to learn how to play baseball, and these guys are picking on me. So I'm starting crying, and I'm like, this is where we've grown up here. Like, I know every player on the team's name, and they know who we are by the first name basis. We've gone to their VIP, like, the end of the year when they give all the awards to the players and stuff. We were there. Surge was sponsoring it. I remember all this crap, like being little kids going to these things.
Aww.
And this guy just made fun of me, and I'm like, man.
And he didn't even realize
and
he
it just
did it.
broke my damn heart. And then I'm crying. So to make me feel better, he gives me a baseball bat and he signs it, you know, and like takes me into the clubhouse and shows me the locker room. And like he just gave me like the grand tour.
You milked that shit.
Right? And then one time, me and Jared Thompson, we still got the pictures. So we showed up early. So Dad, he had season passes.
Right.
For the first baseline, right behind the dugout, first row seats, and the little box seats. We had the whole front row was ours, like right there. So we knew them all, you know.
All right.
And we'd had so many baseballs, they'd always just toss them up to us, and we'd have arguments with the referee or like the umpires on first base, like just yelling at them. And then I remember Tom Runnels, he was the manager one year, and he used to be the manager for the Tigers at one point as well. So it was a bullshit call. We all saw it. We're all yelling at the umpire, like, "What the hell? Are you blind? What is going on? Are you kidding me? He was totally out. What are you doing?" And Tom Runnels comes out of the dugout and starts yelling at this umpire. And veins are sticking out of his neck. His face is just beat red. And we're just like, yeah! Like, this is amazing. He's kicking dirt on him and stuff. We're like, this is the best game ever. He throws him out of the game. We're all booing. The umpire gets a baseball and throws it up to us. He goes, "Shut up."
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember who caught the ball, but yeah.
That's amazing.
That was a good time for sure.
That's amazing.
And I remember we were there one time. I think they were playing, I can't even remember. Man, where was it? They were playing somewhere that wasn't New York, Chicago. They were playing Chicago.
Okay.
And Tim, we're at a fireworks show after the game. They put on a fireworks show or whatever, you know. So we're watching it, and Tim goes, "Go back to New York." That's why I remember that.
That's such a random thing to remember.
That's like they're from Chicago, dumbass. Oh, man.
How old was you at that time?
I don't know. Probably 12 or something, 13.
Right.
I remember Dad had that F-350. It was a lot like the one that we have. Okay. That they have now, I mean. Yeah. You know, that old with the pinstripes all down the side, them crazy stripes and the dually on it. Yeah. But Dad's was more of a green than that one's a blue. Okay. Dad's was more green. So he just leased it, I think, for 2 years or whatever. Okay. Just be part of the boys. Right. Yeah.
I want a cool truck.
Right, Bob's got one. I want one. I'm assuming that's what it was. Yeah. So, I remember he put a camper top on it, like those cabs on the truck, and we would all pile in the bed of it, and we would drive down to Toledo and watch a freaking baseball game.
How many of you would be in the bed of it?
I don't know, 8 of us, like a bunch of little kids, having a blast. That. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And this was a big dually, it had the 4 doors, so I had the people in the front too. There was just people that couldn't fit piled in the back. Right. It was safe, Yeah. It was a big ass truck. Nobody's messing with that. All right. And this is back in 98, 99, so nobody cares.
Yeah. Nobody cared.
Yeah, that was so much fun. I remember he hit a woodchuck with this dually. We're driving down the road. We turned on the Slee Road. Okay. And we're driving to JJ's to fill up before we head to Toledo. Okay. So Dad's just turns onto the road, we get going, and he's in this big dually, like an F-350 dually made of steel back in the 90s. It was a 95. That's what year it was. Like, how little was I? I was 95. I was 5 years old.
You're 5, and you remember this.
And he just smokes this woodchuck that was running across the road. You can't stop those things. You're not going to swerve.
Absolutely not.
And all of us are in the bed of the truck. And we look back, and it's spinning in circles in the middle of the road, like it had just got its head hit. It was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like spinning like a top and spun off the road. Right. Like, I remember I was 5 years old, something like that.
You still remember that.
Yeah. But we would get to the park, and we would park in the back, and we would enter in through where the players enter with the chain link fence right next to the
oh, that's so cool.
right next to the clubhouse.
Right.
We would hang out, and we would hang out right there and by the dugout, and we'd get their autographs, and they'd come through, and they'd be like, "Hey James, hey Tim, how you guys doing?" You know, and give us autographs. Yeah.
Like,
there was another kid. His last name I think was Foxworthy, or he just went by Foxworthy.
Okay.
But I remember he had like a long flow of hair. You know, he was an inner city kid. I think he had a single mom or something.
Right.
But he was at every game too. Like, we hung out together.
Yeah.
Like, we would go to all the camps, and like he was always
That's
at the
awesome.
camps and stuff. And it was him, me, Tim, and Foxworthy. We knew all the players, you know, and we would just talk stats and like how much we liked each player, and like, you know, or where they went, where they got traded up to, where they went to. You know?
Baseball buddy.
Yeah, and you could just go to the park and be like, "Hey, Foxworthy, where did so and so get traded to?" And he'd be like, "Man, he went over to Cleveland or something." You know, he knew everything about baseball, or all the players and stuff. But we would get to the park, find our seats, get settled in, you know, we'd get our souvenir, what do they call them, the programs. Dad would always buy a program so he could track the game, and he had the, so in baseball, they have these books, so you can, like, score the game.
Yep.
So you open it up, and it's got, like, each player, so you got the rosters, and then you have what position each person is, and then what innings, and then what pitches. You can count all up to each like strike and ball of the whole game. And Dad would sit there and do that.
And then just that was his hobby during the game.
Yeah. And he would just sit there and be like, and he would just.
Well, you guys were just doing your thing over here.
And we would run around the whole. We would terrorize the stadium. Like, we were always in the outfield trying to catch home run balls that never really happened.
Right.
I don't even think we ever got one. We'd catch foul balls all the time, because anytime a foul ball hit, we'd run out from underneath the grandstands, you know, and right out behind the thing and try to catch it in the parking lot or something. But yeah, as soon as they just tore it down and they'd moved locations, we stopped going to the games. Yeah,
why?
I don't know. Dad didn't. Maybe it was Dad didn't want to drive deeper into the city. I'm not real sure what it was.
Wow.
But we just
How far was like the new location?
I've never been.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I don't even know when that happened, but I haven't been since.
That is crazy.
But we used to go every game. Every home game we were at.
Right.
And, oh man, we would have such a good time. It was just an hour drive down there, you know.
Right.
Let's go see your heroes play. You know, these guys are going to be future superstars, some of them. I remember when Robert Fick hit a grand slam walk-off home run.
Yeah. And
the next day he played for the Detroit Tigers. Like, that was like, and then Tony Clark came from the Mud Hens, and he would play for the Tigers and then get dropped down, and then he'd get his batting average up, or he'd work on whatever he was missing on, and he'd get traded back up.
Right. And
it was just, he was always in a limbo. But man, Tony Clark, that was Jordan Walter's favorite player. Like, he used to have all his jerseys. Like, we loved these guys, man.
Like, you knew everything.
Everybody. Skeeter Barnes, the batting coach. Like, I remember him and Dad were talking at a training camp we did with Tom Runnels and, you know, a few of the other Tiger players and stuff. It was a father and son 3-day camp. It was a 2-night camp.
Oh, that's cool. Father-son camp?
Yeah.
For baseball?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
And it was indoors in this big gymnasium. It had a track and stuff, and they had like big it was either like pole vaulting equipment, you know, like the mats that you fall into.
Right.
Or it could have just been baseball equipment, I don't know, but that's what we used to like practice catching fly balls, to like dive at them and stuff.
Right.
Like proper form for diving.
Yeah.
You know, because we were at that stage of baseball. You know what I mean? Like, we were going to these type of camps.
Right.
And I remember Tim got he won a baseball glove. It was a copperhead baseball glove. It's still in the basement.
Wait, why did he win it?
So at the end, they were doing like door prizes. They were giving away sponsored stuff.
Okay.
You know, just make everybody feel good. Everybody won something.
Right.
You know, but they made it like a drawing.
Right.
So everybody won something, but you didn't get to pick what it was. So Tim won a copperhead baseball glove and a Michigan Rose Bowl championship hat. Like, they won the Rose Bowl or whatever.
Yeah.
I remember that. I think he might even still have the hat because it had a bunch of signatures on it. Because he had all the players and managers and stuff at that camp sign it.
Yeah.
And then I won a Copperhead baseball glove. I'm so upset about this.
Okay, why?
I won this glove, and it was now my pride and joy. Like,
Right.
This is the coolest thing I own.
Right.
Clearly.
Right.
I love baseball, and that is my glove.
Yeah.
I wore this thing in. So this is the first glove I had that had a finger hole. Like, my glove was like plastic that I was playing with.
Right.
Dad never upgraded my glove.
Yeah.
So then I won this glove at this father-son
And you're
baseball
like,
camp.
this is the coolest
And I
thing
broke
ever.
it in, and like your finger mark would, on the glove.
Right, that's
It
clearly
turned like
your glove.
purple from this glove because it was like an orange, had an
Yeah.
orange tint to it.
Right.
And eventually it wore in, broke in, it had its own color. But
Right.
this was my favorite glove. Like, I broke this glove in. Like, it was perfect. And we went to a Mud Hens game, and they were doing all these renovations to the stadium. And they had where you could go and do like moon bounces, and like it would just keep all the kids distracted rather than keeping us engaged in baseball. I don't even
Right.
know why they brought that crap in. We were having so much fun running around being heathens,
Right.
and we knew every player and every position and every ball that was thrown.
Right.
And then they threw in these inflatable things. We could have gave two shits less about baseball. Seriously. And then baseball's history or future is just gonna crash.
Right, because all the young ones aren't
Yeah.
into baseball, they're into and they grow out of that.
They
don't
grow
grow out
it.
of baseball.
Right.
That's sad.
For sure.
But that's what happened with Bug Nuts too.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up going to baseball games, but I was always on the inflatable, so I know nothing about baseball.
Exactly.
Like, I would do my little, like, gymnastics things at, like, halftime and whatever that is, you know?
Yep.
Do
But
my
they were
little
just trying.
flips
They were
and-
just trying to get more people to come.
Yeah.
They don't understand. There's the nostalgia of baseball itself.
Right. Just
And knowing
remember
the
going with your
heroes.
dad and just
Going
knowing.
with your dad, knowing the
Yeah.
heroes.
See, I was never really a part of that because I was always to the inflatables. You were a little bit of both.
Yeah. The inflatables were right at the end. Like, we knew the names of the people that worked in the fucking concession stand.
Right.
Like,
and
I
that's
remember.
how it
Yeah.
should be.
Yeah. Like, Dad would always give us like $20 to go spend on bullshit.
Right.
Here, go buy something.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't $20, but it's today's equivalent.
It's
of
a $20, yeah. Probably $10.
$10 bucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember buying a red bucket hat. So it was like a hat that was flat on top
Yeah.
and like 4 inches all the way around on the sides. But it wasn't like, it was red and black. It was some team, I don't remember what it was. And it had a really short bill that came out. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever.
You're like, okay, this is what I'm going to spend my money on.
Yep. That was the day Jared and I got. Oh, so I was telling you about Jared.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so we show up. I had to explain where we were with the where we were parking, right?
Okay.
So we parked in the back of this park where the players park.
Yeah.
Where the managers park, where the trainers park. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
parking in this gravel parking lot, and then we go through this chain link fence gate and go, "Hey, what's up?" to the guy that runs the gate because we get season tickets and he knows.
Right.
So we just come on in. And then it didn't matter how many kids we brought. I feel like I was always bringing friends. Like, it's just let's come to the games. Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. So Jared and I,
That's
we
so
get there
cool.
and it was way early. We got there super early in the day. I think it might have been a double header or something going on that day. I'm not real sure,
Okay.
but we got there early. So early that there was nobody there. And there was a photographer like doing, reporting or something,
Right.
She took Jared and I onto the baseball field. We got to run around the bases. We got
so
to
cool.
sit inside the dugout. We got pictures sitting in the dugout holding our souvenirs. Like, I think
That's
Jared,
so cool.
I don't remember who had what, okay? So I think maybe Jared had the piggy bank baseball bat, piggy bank. So it was like a
Right.
bunch of little baseball bats like on a rack.
Yep. Picturing that.
And then the top, it was like a funnel,
Yep.
how it was leaning. And the top had a slice in it for the bank.
Okay.
And then the other one was like a seat cushion. And it had an autograph on it or something.
Yeah.
One of us had one and one of us had the other. I
Yeah.
don't remember who had what. But we're sitting Indian style and like, we're right in the
You're so excited.
in the dugout, and they take our picture just ear to ear grinning like, this is the coolest day ever. You know, like how cool is that?
Right.
I don't remember. I think we might have got a tour of the clubhouse too, like the the locker room and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That's awesome.
She might have taken it. I don't really remember too much besides going on the field, but I remember some more stuff happened.
Right.
You know, we might have went up to the press box, like where they call the game from.
Right.
You know, like it was cool. We got there super early, so she just gave us like the grand tour. She mentioned us in the paper and stuff. Like,
that's freaking awesome.
It was cool.
That's so
we
cool.
were on TV when we went down to the Tigers spring training. So we went down to Lakeland, Florida for Tiger spring training when I was in 2nd grade for spring break. And it was still pretty shitty weather down in Florida. Like it was just cloudy, rainy the whole week we were down there. Well, for the most part. But I do remember getting so sunburnt my ears were peeling.
Oh, boy.
Like that sucked.
So, but you're a kid. You're probably swimming in the rain and then
No, we
sunburned.
didn't go swimming. We didn't go in the ocean because my parents weren't comfortable with the ocean, so we didn't go in the ocean. We might have waded in the ocean, like up to our knees, but we weren't in the ocean. Dad wasn't about that life.
No. Jerry's not about that life.
He wasn't about to go swimming in no damn shark-infested waters.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine.
I've only seen my dad
Jerry
swim
in a
one
lake.
time.
What was it? In
We
a
were
pool
up
or a
in
lake?
Rice Lake fishing up in
Okay.
Canada, and he had just bought a fishing pole. You know, a couple or $100, $150 fishing pole or something, real nice. And he had it sitting in a cup holder, like just sitting in it. And he was rigging something up. We weren't moving or anything. He was rigging something up on a different pole. Tim hopped up on the back of the boat so he could get up there and fish off the back of the boat like he likes to.
Right.
So he hopped up there and hit it as he was turning around. It fell in the water. Dad just dove in the water after this fishing pole.
He loves that fishing pole so much. That's the first time and only time you've seen him swim.
So he dives in the water, gets the pole. I'm just like freaking out. My dad just fell in the water.
I've never seen him swim.
I'm like fucking 4 or 5 years old, you know, I'm a little kid. Here goes Dad, just bloop, just diving in after this pole. He gets it, comes up, throws it in the boat. Then he has to go back down for his wallet and his glasses.
No!
Yeah, wallet and glasses. He got them all.
Like real glasses, not sunglasses?
Yeah, his prescription glasses. And that's the only time I've ever seen him swim. He came to the back of the boat, got on the boat, and we went back in. He changed his clothes, and must have just went on about our vacation because I don't remember much after it. But I know we didn't just leave.
Right.
You know, but he had everything. He was just wet. But that was the only time I ever seen him swim.
He had to go back down for his prescription glasses and water. Freaking Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the best.
That's the only time I've ever seen him swim. I've never seen him in shorts, ever. Ever.
Really?
Ever.
So was he in pants when he dove into the water and swam?
He was in like his work pants type
So you
material
don't know
pants.
what your
He weren't
dad's
blue
legs
jeans.
look like?
Well, I've seen him in underwear when he sits on the couch and fucking chilling, you know,
You
being
know,
a dad.
he just doesn't ever wear shorts.
He never wears shorts.
Okay, at least he wears just underwear.
But I've never seen him in shorts and never seen him in a t-shirt. Never seen him in a t-shirt.
I've never seen him in a t-shirt.
He doesn't wear t-shirts. He's got a picture of him when he was like in 3rd grade on a bicycle with a banana seat and big 8-handle handlebars, button-down shirt, blue jeans. Button-down shirt, blue jeans, Converse.
He's never.
He was just, and they were straight-legged blue jeans, cuffed at the bottom, just.
Is that one of the few pictures you have of him as a child?
I think so. Yeah.
Where